Hi everyone, welcome back. So guys, as part of the today's session, I just want to show you how exactly we can, trigger this framework from Jenkins. Okay, trigger this particular framework from Jenkins. So the first and a foremost thing that I'm doing right now is right click, open in a Finder, and let me get the full path. Okay, we will take the path of this particular one. And I'm using a Mac machine and I have already started my Jenkins. So I was just using a local host 8080. Hence it is just prompting me to take to this particular Jenkins login screen. As and when I performed a login operation to work on this particular tools, right? I just want to add two different plugins, guys. Additionally, in the plugin manager, I just want to add two different plugins to my Jenkins instance. So that's the reason. Go to this plugins. I was just showing you at an installed plugins. The first one that I have added is an Allure Jenkins. Okay, so this Allure Jenkins is basically to configure that particular reports. And the next one is a Shining Panda plugin. Basically, this is Shining Panda that supports, the Python and other relevant libraries. Hence, I added these two plugins to my Jenkins instance. And on top of this particular plugins, I'm just going to the tools and its configuration. And in the tools configuration, we need to specify the Python. So here the Python install location. On my Mac, it's there in a library. This is the Python, I have identified that and I just placed this location here. And upon placing all that information, now I'm creating a new freestyle project, Selenium FW1. Okay, a freestyle project. Click on here. And inside the general, as of now, I just want to trigger my code from my local itself. So here in the advanced, I want to use my custom workspace. And here in the Finder, I have already opened my framework. So, let's get into the folder and then let's get this info. So here you will be getting down the complete project location. Come back and update it here. Okay, perfect. And once you are done up to here, go to the build steps. As part of this build steps, I want to execute a shell command. Okay, I want to execute a shell command. So here, Python 3 space hyphen m space when virtual environment dot virtual environment. Okay, VN, which is going to be a virtual environment. Source dot VN slash bin slash activate. See, basically, if you have a look into this framework, in the virtual environment, there is a bin folder and there is a activated.bat file that will be getting down all the dependencies. That's the reason I just called this batch file and then Python 3 hyphen m PyTest. So I was just using this particular PyTest now. Apply, save, and now I want to build it. Okay, I am just building it. Let us see how this is going to work. See here, it launched the program and then it's performing these operations, whatever the source code that you have. It's just executing the steps one after another. See, that's what the automation code it's being triggering. It finished the order and then it logged out from the application. So this is the way how exactly you can create or trigger your code. How exactly you can trigger your code from this particular Jenkins. Additionally, as part of this particular Jenkins, what exactly that we are gonna do is we do have an option to create a pipeline, and even for that particular pipeline, also we need to install a plugin. Okay, so here, the plugin that we need to add is a build pipeline plugin. And once after you added this particular plugin, so consider that, ideally when you are working on your projects, there are going to be a different sets of pipe jobs, right? So maybe a DAO deployment job. And once the DAO deployment job is completed, then automatically testing code should execute. After the testing code got executed successfully, then the release code should execute. This is what the process is. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm just creating a freestyle project. I'm naming it as a dev env. Okay, dev environment. And in the build steps, I'm adding a shell echo this is a dev code. Okay, echo, this is a dev code. And when you click on a build now, and let us see whether how exactly the build is working right now. See, this is the dev code. It got executed. And the testing code. The testing code, that's gonna be the framework that we are referring right now. Okay, that's gonna be the framework that we are referring right now. It's already there. And the next one is a release code. So I was defining a release code freestyle project, and I'm defining a release code freestyle project. And in the build steps, okay, and in the build steps, execute the shell release a build. Okay, we have all these builds in place right now. And when you click on a build now, of course, it's gonna execute and it's gonna just print it. Echo itself means that's the print. Now, what you need to do is whenever the dev deployment is successful, then the testing code should execute. When the testing code is executed successfully, then the release code should execute, a deployment in process. So here, the first and a foremost thing is we are gonna go to this particular framework, and on this particular framework configure, and in the triggers, I'm saying that build after another project. What is the another project? Dev environment. Whenever the dev environment build is successful, then only execute this automation code. Okay, and at the same way, there is a release build also for us, right? There is a release, there is a release code for us, right? In this release code, what I am doing again, the triggers. So build when, okay, build when the Selenium framework is successful. Okay, build when the Selenium framework is successful. As and when you clicked on it, and then when you search for the dev code, see here, and build now. Okay, when you clicked on a build now, so the second instance, the dev code is successful, and now it's triggering the Selenium framework. Okay, the Selenium framework code is being executed. Okay, the Selenium framework code is being executed. And once the Selenium code is successful, then it will come back. Okay, once the Selenium code is successful, then it will trigger the release build. That's what the pipeline that you have scheduled. So we scheduled it on one after another. See here, trigger the release code. See, the release code got executed. This is a kind of a pipeline that we have established. Perfectly all right. To see how exactly the pipeline is gonna looks like, we do have an option to create a new view. In the view, Selenium. Okay, in the view, I was just using Selenium Python. Okay, and I just wanna go with a build a pipeline view. Okay, here in this tabular format, what is your initial job? My initial job is a dev code. Dev environment is my initial code. Okay, and if you scroll, number of bills it should display. I just need to display a 5 different bills. And when you hit the save, basically it's saying that this is the pipeline that you have created. Second times you have executed, 2 different times it got executed. First time, it ran individually, but when you run it in the second time, all these things got executed successfully. And even if you click on this run, all the pipeline, see if I clicked on this run, the third pipeline instance got created. First the dev will execute, and once the dev got executed, then the Selenium framework will execute, and once the Selenium framework got completed, then the last instance will execute. One after another, all those instances will be executing from here. Even if you want to execute only the single instance, you can play this particular instance. This is the way how exactly you can create a pipeline and trigger your automation code base from that Jenkins, guys. Okay, perfectly all right. Thank you. See you in the next session. Bye bye.